Episode 66, Assault. Peak arrives in time to drive the scout regiment away from Porco Galliard using gunfire from her panzer unit. Meanwhile, Lara Tiber uses the power of her Warhammer Titan to impale Eren Yeager as he holds the hardened crystal she is using to protect herself. Though Eren manages to block the attack against his neck by hardening the arm of his attack Titan, the rest of his body is lifted into the air in a tree of hardened Titan flesh. The warriors and the scouts regroup as the Beast Titan arrives. A short distance away, Falco Grice climbs out from between the hands of the armored Titan, having survived the building collapsing on him and Reiner Braun. He witnesses the battle between the warriors and the scouts, and on spotting Eren, he remembers the deception Eren had pulled over him and how he arrived in his current circumstances. Falco climbs back between the armored Titan's fingers to apologize to an unconscious and unresponsive Reiner. Confused since Reiner should have healed with the power of the Titans, Falco realizes that Reiner's weakened will to live is impacting his regenerative abilities. He asks Reiner to wait and tries to reassure him that he has friends around him and not just enemies. As the battle continues, Eren tries biting into Lara's crystal only to break the teeth of his attack Titan. He recognizes that the hardening is similar to Annie Leonhardt's, and that he will not be able to break it himself, but he also realizes that Lara must be exhausted, otherwise she would have finished her attempt to stab him through the nape. Eren concludes that she must be out of options, but he is not. He abandons his current attack Titan's body and jumps down to create a new one. Porco despairs that Eren still has enough fight in him to create another Titan body, but Peak assures him that the warriors are the ones currently controlling the battlefield because their opponents are limited in weapons and fuel, having arrived using omnidirectional mobility gear without a supply line. Marley should have the area surrounded by now, cutting off any escape. Porco is still worried with the founding Titan being present, but Peak tells him to focus on protecting the Beast Titan from Levi. While looking for help, Falco runs into Theo Magath and lets him know about Reiner. Before he can bring Magath to him, Gabi Brown catches up with the two. Out in the harbor, the Marleyan fleet is attempting to dock in order to get reinforcements to Liberio. One ship's captain notices a small fishing boat next to him in the harbor and orders it back to shore. The sailor removes his hood and is revealed to be Armin Arlelt. He stares tellingly at the ship before transforming into the colossal Titan, triggering a gargantuan explosion visible from the internment zone that annihilates the Marleyan fleet in port. Seeing the stolen Titan put into action, the warriors realize the scout regiment did not come unprepared. This spurs Porco into a charge towards Eren, and the scouts attack Piek and Zeke while they are separated from him. Zeke falls suddenly from an attack to the nape from Levi, landing in front of Magath, Falco, and Gabi. Levi lands on the Beast Titan's head, ready to ignite an explosive, and Magath pushes down the two kids to cover them. Meanwhile, Peak and the Panzer unit struggle against the scouts, and one of the Cart Titan's machine guns is silenced when Sasha Braus shoots Carlo in the head. Peak tries to avenge him, but John Kirstein leaps over the lip of the roof and manages to fire a thunder spear into her Titan's eye. He then directs the rest of the squad around her to attack. They follow up with a barrage of thunder spears, killing the remainder of the Panzer unit. Peak scrambles out of the carnage and falls over the edge of the roof, crashing down in front of Magath, Falco, and Gabi. John swoops down to finish her, but Falco runs in between them, shouting for him not to shoot. He is clearly bothered by the interference, but decides to fire regardless. His thunder spear misses its mark, and Jean is uncertain whether it was because of the steam from the damaged Titan or his own conscience. Piek emerges from her Titan badly wounded and tells Falco to run away. The scouts attempt to use this moment to finish her, but Magath rallies the soldiers around him to protect her. He sends Gabi to help Falco, and the two of them carry Peak to cover. Out at the port, Armin looks around at the apocalyptic devastation he caused, including the human casualties, and sadly wonders if this is what Berthold Hoover once saw. He exits his Titan and lifts the handle of his ODM gear to grapple to a point above him. Seeing that his comrades are down, Porco flies into a rage and lunges towards Eren, biting off the attack Titan's hand and swiping at its face with his claws, ripping out one of its eyes. Eren blocks the second attack using Lara's crystal, and to his surprise, the Jaw Titan's claws leave deep scratch marks in it. Inside a building, Pyke's regeneration goes slowly, and Gabi asks about Reiner, who is still underground behind the stage. Falco, knowing what Reiner has gone through, suggests leaving him out of the fight, which Gabi does not understand given how many people Eren has killed, including their friends Udo and Zofia. Above Liberio, an airship follows the guide lights set up by the scouts. In the cockpit, Hanji plans to pick up their soldiers, but they have only one shot. Any stragglers are out of luck. Hang finds the plan reckless and asks Armin if he was possessed by Erwin Smith. Spotting the airship, Porco tries to attack their method of escape, but Mikasa Ackerman catches him off guard and slices off the legs of his Titan, leaving him stunned in front of Eren. Eren further batters his Titan, ripping off its arms before jamming Lara's crystal into the Jaw Titan's mouth. He then lifts the Jaw Titan high into the air and uses its jaws to crush the crystal, killing Lara. The resulting blood and spinal fluid flows into the attack Titan's mouth, and Eren gains the power of the Warhammer Titan. He then incapacitates the Jaw Titan by brutally slamming its head into the ground. Realizing that Porco will be eaten next, Gabi and Falco desperately call for Reiner to help. Across the battlefield, within the hands of the armored Titan, a barely conscious Reiner hears their screams and is frustrated when they do not stop. Angered that they will not allow him to die in peace, Reiner transforms into the armored Titan, getting Eren's attention and saving Porco's life.